Good afternoon, Jeff, and thank you for taking the time with us today. My name is Coach Andy O'Brien, and I'm the master coach and firm owner here at Action Coach Wilco. We are an executive business coaching firm focused on guiding business owners to have the freedom to grow their business, spend time with loved ones, and build a solid team. And I am so excited for this. My guest today is Jeff Andresen of the YMCA of Greater Williamson County. Jeff, thank you again for joining me today. Why don't we start with a bit of an introduction? Tell our viewers a little bit about you, your business is, because we just talked about that, and how long you've been doing this.
Oh, well, my name is Jeff Andresen, and I've been working for the YMCA for about 32 years, I guess, here in Central Texas for about 16. We are
Excellent.
one of the larger nonprofits in the region. We, pre-COVID, we employed about 1,600 people. And we have YMCAs that stretch across the 5-county area. We serve about 1.5 million people a year.
Excellent. Well, thank you for all you do. And I love what you do. And we'll dig more into that with how I got started in fitness as we go on here. All right. So tell me this. You talked about having 1,600 employees. And so who would you say is your best customer, or who does the Y serve?
Oh, well, the Y is, it's been around for so long, 185 years, and we've had the privilege of inventing a lot of things like basketball and so on. But really, our sweet spot is for that young family. Young families bring their kids to the Y when they want to experience and get started in things like little guys soccer or t-ball or whatever that may be. We also have a huge place in after-school childcare. Every day when the bell rings, we serve 5,300 kids in the 80 sites located across our 5-county area. And so that's about half of our business. About half of our business is serving kids in an after-school site in summer camps. And then the other half is those folks that come to our YMCAs to do everything from health and wellness to youth sports to aquatics. They're typical things you'd expect at any YMCA facility.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love to hear that. So what would you say has been the biggest impact COVID-19 had on the Ys here in this 5-county area?
Well, as I mentioned, we have the two sides of our service. And so COVID definitely devastated our after-school business, that after-school service that we provide. The minute the schools closed down and didn't let anyone on their campus, that put an absolute halt to that business, that service. And so we responded by doing first responder care, which that's not a service we were used to doing, but we jumped right in with the assistance of the county and started providing first responder care immediately in March of last year. We served thousands and thousands of families. And then we did virtual care, where kids could come to our centers and take have all-day care and virtually go to school. So that was the kind of that plug and play that we put in place during that COVID period. We're slowly getting back into the schools. And so as I mentioned before, we had 5,300 kids as of March 13th of last year. We're up right around 1,600 now. On the other side of our service, we've retained we've retained, and we're at 70%, right at 69.5% of our folks that are what we call members, folks that pay annual user fees. Our program services are higher than that, but that's actually in that side, we're right up there with the top in the nation of maintaining those folks.
That is wonderful. Well, I love those actions you've taken to the first responders and making sure that everybody is still safe and healthy. So looking at the last year and now looking ahead for 2021, what are your business goals for 2021?
Well, that's really tough because there hasn't been any trends that you can benchmark against anybody. I mean, that's
absolutely,
you're basically setting your own goals and hoping that you meet them. We've been fairly conservative on, we've looked at trying to get back to 80% of the children that were participating in our youth programs by the end of the year. So 80% of the folks that were with us on March of 20. We're hoping to serve those by the end of the year, and we're on track to do so. In the membership side, we're expecting the same thing. That's where folks are coming into our facilities and using the programs that are available to them. We're expecting that as well. On the after school, in that department, we only have certain times of the year that folks actively seek out, because once they get enrolled in after school, they typically stay enrolled because they need that service. And so you're going to see a bump again in that September timeframe. We are ahead on the summer camp numbers. Our numbers are almost double what we had in 21. So, or 20, excuse me. So the trends are looking okay, but there's nothing to benchmark against.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's interesting you say that about benchmarking. That is one of those trends that we try to always look for in all businesses. And it's just like when we went through in 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 and 11 in the building product industry. There had never been a case where it just shut the door on everything. So you're exactly right by having to set your own goals, drive your business directly, and make sure people know about it. So looking at that, what do you see? And I know, like I said, you've been doing this for 30 some years. Again, with no benchmarks, what do you think are going to be your biggest challenges coming forward?
Well, we've been fortunate enough, in an environment like Central Texas, which has grown so rapidly, that we've been able to stay out in front of that growth and to reinvest in our facilities, renovate, build facilities with partnerships and with municipalities and so on. That faucet got shut off too. I mean, because cash flow was everything during the COVID process. I mean, you just had to protect your cash, and so you could pay the folks that you retained and keep your lights on. As you start to climb out of it and the folks start coming back and utilizing your services again, I think what we've learned is that we've learned to be, even though we were very, very efficiently ran operation, which we thought, we can actually be more efficient. And then the question is how many risks are you going to take? I mean, it's this, how, when you're going to stick your foot in the water, how far are you going to put it in, how fast? So, it's not, the folks that are coming back, they want everything they wanted before COVID.
Right.
So you're really trying to keep up with the Joneses, but it's a little tough because you're still a little gun shy.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you start having people come back. Now, how much staff do you have to have? Do we have enough staff?
Yeah.
Is there enough people to make sure that everybody's safe in the building?
Yeah. Yep. And then the other thing too is with all the growth that's happening, and is staffing is going to be, we think, is one of our real issues. Is what you laid off a tremendous, we laid off 2/3 of our workforce during COVID, and now it's not like they just went home and sat down and had a relaxing time. They went out and found a alternate employment. And so bringing that workforce back on as you gear back up is because what's happening is the workforce out there is being very competitive right now. And so you have to readjust because you probably got more costs on your HR side than you had pre-COVID. It's a very dynamic, as you can imagine. It's a very dynamic thing, and you really don't have all the answers. You kind of roll with it as they come at you. But there's lots of opportunities. There's tremendous amount of opportunities, and we have capitalized on some of those opportunities that were caused by COVID. Because
absolutely,
as we partner, we continue to partner with school districts and cities, everybody was affected, and they're all looking about how they did their business pre, and now how do they do their business today, and do they want to get back in their traditional mode of doing business?
That is the $20 million question: is do they want to get back to it?
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, maybe for another call, we can talk about recruitment and an effective recruitment system that will allow you to gain your people back. But this is my favorite question, Jeff, and I love it because you've been doing this for a long time. So it has been said that smart people learn from their mistakes. However, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. What mistakes have you made along the way, and how can others learn from them in business?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, I think I think one of the things that is a classic mistake that every manager makes along their career is is they they don't realize the value of really capable workforce. And so sometimes what we do is we are we are maybe a little bit too conservative with our hiring practices, and we try to eke our way along with a with a workforce that is probably as maybe they're not the top of the top shelf workforce. And what you
Hmm.
find is when you finally get to the point where you can bring folks on that have high capacity, you really see the benefits. And then you kind of look back and you say, why didn't I stretch a little early on? Why didn't I pay that much for a very capable employee? And you could beat yourself up on one hand, but you could also look back and say, well, I weathered some times when, maybe that's what I needed to do at the time. So you can second
Hmm.
guess all day long, but I think if I would have taken a different approach earlier, would we be farther along? Would we be serving more families? Would we be having a bigger impact? You know, I second guess myself all the time, Andy. I mean, if there's one
Well,
that I second guess, it's me. So
yeah, and that's that review mirror. I think we all do. But I love that. My dad used to tell me all the time, you get the people you deserve.
yeah,
And a lot of business owners don't like to hear that when they tell me they're paying $8 an hour. Again, it's mindset. So thank you very much for telling the folks and our watchers here today, because that is a great learning. Is you get the people you deserve, but as you cycle up, I call it, or get handed up to other people, you all of a sudden realize the value of the person creates value in the business. They can't be just looked at as an expense.
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. You know, it's
Oh,
it's a it's like that person always tells you, when you're going camping, buy the best camping equipment you can, or you'll regret it. And so if
right.
you go cheap, you're getting rained on and you're getting wet. So, yeah, that's a tough lesson to learn. So
It is, but as all of us in business have to, you wouldn't know those unless you walked through it, right? You walked through that struggle. You were in it. You were in the fight every day. And I think for most of the viewers out here today, we've all been there. It's wisdom and time. And again, we make mistakes, right? We had to make those mistakes in order to learn from them and then pass them on. So thank you very much for being so transparent with our viewers here today.
oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. I
Excellent.
appreciate your time, Andy.
Well, let's talk one more thing. I got a couple more questions. So, for
Okay,
the viewers who want to learn more about the YMCA, how can they get in contact or find you, especially being in 5 counties?
yeah, well, we have our websites that are always up, you know, um, ymcagwc.org, and they can go on that, and they're very active and interactive, and should take you to anything that you want to that you're interested in. Right now, everybody's interested in what their kid's going to do in the summer, you know, and our camps are all bustling with folks signing up, and we take kids from infant all the way up to one of our largest teen programs is employment. And so yeah, so it's there's something for everybody at the Y. So that's how they get a hold of us.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, to cap off the interview, we have one final question. In business today, what is most inspiring to you?
Oh, I'd have to say longevity. I used to, Andy, I don't know about you, but when you're a young person, you're climbing the ladder, so you're thinking to yourself, well, guess what? If I stay here for another couple of years, I might get my 3% increase and maybe get a title change. But if I jump, go to move, I'll capture a little bit more than that. So I never appreciated longevity on the job. I never appreciated that at all. I was more appreciative of climbing the ladder, getting up a rung or two. Now that I've been able to put down some roots, and I imagine you do it for a variety of reasons, family is one of them, but once you have longevity, you can build tradition. And in this business, tradition basically runs hand in hand and parallel to reputation. And I mean, those two things, that once you've built a strong traditions, and they're quality traditions, that reputation falls hand in hand. Not that we don't all screw up one time or another, but that comes with, and I appreciate longevity, and I don't think I did before. So, and then I value that, and I appreciate people that have stuck it out and are committed to the long haul and really making a difference. You just can't. I look back and think about when I was at other YMCA's, and I was at shorter time, and I just don't think I made the long term. I was just a person on the person in the history. So I don't know if that means anything, but
it does mean a lot. So thank you so much for sharing. So again, thank you again, Jeff, for taking time to chat with us this afternoon. Again, for all of you watching, my name is Andy O'Brien with Action Coach Wilco, and we guide business owners to have the freedom to grow their business every day. If you'd like to share your story, visit our website at actioncoachwilco.com for more information and to connect with our team. That's all for today. Enjoy your week. Bye for now.
Thanks, Andy.